Good morning, children. Welcome to third session of third chapter, that is demand. In previous session, we discussed law of demand. In continuation to that only, in this session, our next topic, that is exceptions to the law of demand. Now, if in the exam question comes that explain law of demand, which is of 5 marks, then you are supposed to write assumptions of law of demand, then what is law of demand, schedule of that, diagram and explanation of that diagram. But if in the question along with assumptions, if it is asked that write or explain exceptions also, then you are supposed to explain these 4 exceptions. But if it is not asked, then write only assumptions and law along with schedule and diagram and of course explanation of that diagram. If question comes in 2 marks that explain exceptions to the law of demand, then these 4 points you will write head points along with that explanation. And if in any of the chapter, if any question it comes only state, then you are not supposed to explain it, only state, that is only head points you have to write. No need of explaining in that case. So let us start these exceptions to the law of demand. Now here 4 exceptions are: number 1, prestigious goods; number 2, extremely low priced goods; number 3, special preferences of people; and the last one is, that is, given goods. Now let us discuss in detail. But before we start in detail explanation of this, what is the meaning of the word exceptions? Exceptions means in these type of 4 goods, this law of demand is not applicable. It doesn't work in these 4 types of goods. So let us start with the first exception, that is prestigious goods. Now certain goods which are priced very high and are generally consumed by very rich people, those goods are called prestigious goods. Like example, very expensive jewelry, expensive cars, expensive mobile phones, which are used by very rich people. Now, in such type of goods, if price rises, in that case, as a status symbol, these prestigious goods which are used by these highly rich people, they feel that their status or their prestige also there is increase. So they increase the demand. Now actually law of demand says what? That when price rises, demand reduces. But here in these goods, price increases, so they feel their prestige also increases, so they demand more of that. And opposite to this, if that commodity's price, it is reduced, then what they feel? That their prestige also, in that there is reduction. So they reduce the demand of that product. So because of that reason, such kind of prestigious goods which are used by rich people, law of demand in that case doesn't work. Now come to the second, that is extremely low priced goods. Now certain goods which are extremely low priced goods, and because of that entire consumption expenditure on such goods, that forms a very small proportion of the consumer's income. Say example, if I give you safety pins, rubber bands, matchboxes. Now such kind of goods from their total income, which this consumption of such goods or price of which they pay, that amount from their total income, it is very, very, very less. So price increase or price decreases of such goods, that doesn't affect much more. Because of that reason, these extremely low price goods, law of demand doesn't work on that. So price of such kind of goods increases or decreases. Say example, matchbox. Now it's ₹1 per piece. Now if price of this matchbox that has increased from 1 rupee to 1 rupee 25 paisa or 50 or say 2 rupees also. But because of 2 rupees, just to imagine what your total income, and from 1 to 2 rupee, just 1 rupee there is increase in the price of this matchbox. That doesn't affect. So because of that reason, these extremely low price goods, whether price increase or decrease, demand of that remain same only. That doesn't affect more. So in this also, extremely low price goods also, law of demand doesn't work. Third one, that is spatial preferences of people. Now certain people are such who feels that certain brand goods they use, then they are fond of using that only. So of those branded goods, price increase or price decrease, the demand of that product which are used by those people, in that there is no effect. So they, because of they are used to purchase that goods, they don't like to go some other brand goods like toothpaste, shoes. Now such kind of things they don't like to go, they don't like to buy of any other company. So in that case, this law of demand, that doesn't work. But again, these are of certain commodities and which are used by certain people who doesn't like to change the product of any other company. Connected to them only, this exception is there of law of demand. Now come to the last one, that is giffen goods. Have you heard any time giffen goods? Giffen नाम का कोई commodity? No. Yes, it's not that way. Here, one of our economists named Robert Giffen, he gave this concept that inferior type of goods, in that this law of demand doesn't work. So that is why this is known as Giffen goods. Robert Giffen, with the name of this economist. Now what is that? When price of certain goods which are called like inferior goods, inferior means low quality goods, fall, and the real income of a consumer rises because of decrease in the price of these inferior goods, so he or she may reduce the consumption of such goods and substitute these by goods of a superior quality. Now, such goods, those are when necessary goods and purchased by low income group people, then those type of goods only, this law of demand is not applicable. Let us discuss this with one of the example. Now here I am taking two commodities. One is bajra, which is used by low class people, and another is wheat. Of course, this is superior quality and this is inferior quality goods. Now price of this bajra, say example it is 20 rupees per kg, while wheat price it's rupees 30 per kg. Now this bajra, it is purchased by one of the family, say example it's 5 kg. So how much they spend on that? That is 100 rupees. Now due to any reason, the price of this bajra, it is reduced from rupees 20 to rupees 10. So in that case, now if they purchase same 5 kg, then now how much they spend for that is 50 rupees only. So in that case, this is a psychology of a person. What? That when the price of such kind of inferior goods, and as we discussed earlier, that these commodities are used by which commodities, and who uses these kind of commodities? Low income people. So this is psychology of them, that when the price of that is reduced, so their real income, that is their purchasing power, in that there is increase. So now they, instead of purchasing this bajra, they like to go for superior quality goods, that is wheat. Of course, this wheat price also, say example from 32 it is reduced to 20 rupees. Now previously they were getting bajra at 20 rupees. Of course now it is 10 rupees, but because of wheat which is of superior quality, so people who used to purchase bajra previously and paid or were paying 100 rupees, now in that 100 rupees only they can buy wheat which is of superior quality product. So here, according to law of demand, when price reduces, demand should increase of bajra. But here in this case, bajra's demand, it is reduced, and wheat demand, it has increased. So in this case, which is Robert Giffen has given such kind of concept, so it is given with the name of Giffen goods, which is the last exception to the law of demand. Our next topic, that is reasons for inverse relationship between price and demand. In last session only, we discussed that between price and demand, there is indirect, negative or inverse relationship is there. That is, price increase, demand decreases, or if price decreases, demand increases. Now, why such type of inverse relationship is there? For that, there are two main reasons. Number one, that is income effect. Number two, that is substitution effect. Now, what is this income effect? When the monetary income of the consumer, that remains constant, but price of the goods falls, then her or his real income rises. Now, what is this real income? Real income is the purchasing power of money. Now, when real income rises, then a consumer can buy more of a good, and therefore its demand may rise. Now, this only let us discuss with one of the example. Now here I am taking example of one of the families about sugar, what their demand is. Say example, at the price of rupees 10 per kg, now demand of that family, it is 5 kg. That means they used to spend 50 rupees for this sugar, and demand is 5 kg when the price is rupees 10. Now price, it is reduced from rupees 10 to rupees 8. Now if same demand is there, then they spend 40 rupees. Now if 50 rupees only they spend, so in that case, instead of 5 kg, now they will get 6 kg and 250 grams with 8 rupees only. And how much? 50 rupees only they spend. Now see here, their real income, in that there is increase. How? Previously in this 50 rupees only, monetary income it is 50 only. Money wise, कितने पैसे दे रहे हैं? 50 रुपए. But real income, that is previously in this 50 rupees they used to get 5 kg. Now because of price it has reduced from rupees 10 to rupees 8. In this 50 rupees now they get 6 kg and 250 grams. So automatically what? Their demand increases, because in now 50 rupees they get 6 kg and 250 grams. So this is one of the reason. Here income means not their monetary income. Ye 50 ki 50. Normally what we feel that this income means what previously 10,000 was the income of one family. Now from 10,000 to 12,000. So their demand also increases because of there is increase in the income. But here it is not this. Here because of their real income, that is because of there is decrease in the price, in 50 rupees only they get now more in quantity this sugar, so they increase the demand. And opposite to this, if price from 10 to rupees 12, in that case now they get less in quantity. So means in 50 rupees only they get less in quantity, so automatically demand reduces. So this is one of the reason that why there is inverse relationship is there between price and demand, that is income effect. Now second is substitution effect. When price of the concerned goods falls, then it becomes relatively cheaper than its substitutes. Hence, a consumer will reduce the consumption of substitute goods and expand the demand for the concerned goods. Now this is called substitution effect. Again, let us discuss this also with one of the example. Now here, two varieties of pants. One that is cotton pants and another that is denim pant. Now see, if the price of cotton pant falls and that of denim pant, that remains same, no change in the price of denim pant, then the consumer finds what? This cotton pant cheaper in comparison to the denim pant. So they'll expand the demand for this cotton pant only. Now this is called substitution effect. So here mainly these are the two reasons. One is income effect, another is substitution effect, because of which we can say that between price and demand there is inverse relationship. So this is an end of this session. See you in next session tomorrow. Thank you.